You don't need a boss to make money. You need a plan. Most people who want to build something of their own and haven't yet aren't lazy, they're scared. And not enough people talk about that. In the 1980s, I read a story about a guy who walked away from a high paying financial career to become a groom at Santa Anita racetrack. He said he was happy for the first time in his life. He scaled everything back in his life for the sake of creating something that meant something to him. At the time, I was waitressing and working as an executive assistant, pushing and hustling. And that story hit me so hard. I still remember it today, but it took me a decade to be brave enough to actually make a move. If you've been carrying a vision of your own and you keep finding a reason not to start, stay with me because the reason probably isn't even what you think it is. Here's what actually keeps people stuck. Again, it's not laziness or a lack of ideas. It's the fact that everything around you has been designed to make staying feel smarter than leaving that paycheck. We call that golden handcuffs. The paycheck shows up every 2 weeks. The benefits are there, the predictability of knowing what's coming. It makes the dream easy to shelf for just one more year and then one more after that. The system rewarded you just enough to make leaving feel foolish. And you know exactly what that felt like. But here's what waiting actually costs you it's not just time, the chance to find out whether the thing that you've been carrying around was real. Deep down, you always believed it was. And here's what's actually true that whole time, you weren't wasting time. Every skill that you've built, every person you've helped, every year you spent showing up, you're going to use all of it. That vision that you've been carrying, waiting for someone to tell you it was okay to go for, the vision you've been carrying needed everything you've spent that time becoming. It just couldn't tell you that while you're in the middle of it. And the stability that made staying feel safe, that's the same stability that's disappearing for people at every level right now. The whole corporate loyalty contract that promised us security in exchange for years of effort is gone, which means the question isn't whether to build something on your own anymore. It's whether you build it on your terms before circumstances force a different version of that conversation and decision. I know what the fear sounds like because I lived it for a decade. I read that story about the man at Santa Anita in the 80s, and something in me recognized it immediately, not because I wanted to go muck stalls, but because he chose a meaningful life over the model everyone said was the only one that worked. And he did it without anyone's permission. It took me 10 years to finally move. 10 years of carrying around that story while climbing ladders and hustling my butt off and telling myself timing wasn't right. What I know now that I didn't know then is that timing's never going to feel right. And clarity doesn't come before you make a move, it comes from moving. Every month you wait is another month you're still unclear, still holding off on the thing you already know needs to happen. The people who build something aren't the ones who finally stop being scared. They're the ones who found a clear process that showed them exactly what they have, what it's worth, and what to build first. And when they saw it laid out in front of them, specific and real and built entirely around who they actually are, the most common thing they said was, I always knew I wanted this. I just needed someone to show me how to do it. That's the only thing standing between where you are and where you want to be. It's not courage, it's not the perfect moment. It's having a process built around who you actually are. That's exactly why I built the Ignite Your Income 3-day challenge. You'll know what your skills are and what the marketplace is willing to pay for them. And you come out with something real, a starting point that you can actually move on. The link's in the description. I hope you'll start right now. Now, I want to ask you something. And I want you to answer it as honestly as you can in the comment. What's the thing that you've been carrying around that you never have given yourself permission to build? Drop it below. I'll see you in the next video. Don't forget to like and subscribe this video for more.